I. As you may have noticed if you've been paying attention, the rest of the series has been devoted to the letter L. But tonight's an exception, because it's no L. Let's look at my lovely decorations. A big bauble, Bill Bailey! A jolly tracker, Jimmy Carr! A Christmas fairy, no less than Carrie Fisher! And either my chocolate log has melted or the reindeer have diarrhea. Alan Davis! Let's hear the jingle bells. Bill goes. Jingle bells are ringing. Jimmy goes. Oh, that slays me. And Carrie goes. Thank you.
Just see the sleigh bells jingling, ring, jingle, jingling, too.
Phil Spector's still in prison. And Alan goes. Now, I've got a little something for each of you under this tree. Isn't that lovely? But first, can you tell me what's special, indeed unique, about this tree? Can you see it? There you are.
Small.
It's small.
Imperfectly formed.
Imperfectly formed.
Is it a vintage one?
It is. It's been valued by Christie's.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hello. Is it a Christmas tree?
It doesn't quite work as laboratorial, but you're on fire, I can tell.
Thank you.
When you say it was valued by Christie's, that sounds very impressive, but maybe they went, that's worth £1.
Yeah. Four-figure sum. Four-figure sum.
£10.99.
Does it belong to someone famous?
No.
Is it one of these things that's been to the moon?
No, it hasn't. These are all good answers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but no. You don't know the kind of answers they usually give.
Jesus' personal tree.
Jesus' personal tree, no.
Was that what the gold, frankincense
But
and myrrh?
somebody kind of suggested it earlier on, and that's to do with its age.
It's the oldest Christmas tree.
Oldest what Christmas?
Oldest one in the
Fake.
room.
Fake. Oh,
An artificial tree.
it's the
The
first.
original artificial
It's the first ever. It's in the Guinness Book of Records.
Oh, wow.
Christie's have validated it. It was bought for sixpence, that's 6D, which is 2.5 pence, in 1886.
What?
This particular one.
This actual one.
And someone made note of that so that we can
But it's been in
now-
the same family, that's how we know.
And they keep all their receipts.
It was
Wait.
bought by Lou Hicks and her great-great-niece,
Auntie
Janet. There's Lou Hicks on the left, and her great-great-niece, Janet. She died in 2008, and her son, Paul Parker, who's a mathematician from Bath, is here in the audience. So, Paul, you grew up with this Christmas tree, did you?
That's right, yeah.
Who took it to Christie's? Was that your mother?
Yeah, that's right.
And what value did they put on it?
Well, they put a value of about 1,000 on it, but the thing is, it's anyone's guess because it's unique.
Well, if you're watching, if you could give your address, there may be a burglar watching. That would be a response.
Yeah.
Bound to be some burglars watching.
Yeah.
Odds are. Yeah.
Was that just...
I mean, you have Christmas trees in Married Robs.
I have a year-round Christmas tree, actually.
Well, you have a house that is just
It's
the most...
year-round also.
It is bizarre. It is the most bizarre, extraordinary house.
My house is 100 years old. And in America, that's like prehistoric.
Wow.
So, but Betty Davis lived there, and
Yeah.
Robert Armstrong, who was in King Kong.
And your mother lives there, Debbie Reynolds.
We're
who is
neighbours,
Hollywood royalty.
yeah.
Yeah, she lives in your garage, let's be honest. I'm using the
Some
American
nights,
pronunciation
yes.
of garage.
Debbie Reynolds was in Singing in the Rain.
She was?
Did she never tell you that?
She doesn't come up, no.
No.
I can't stop thinking about it.
She was 19 years old.
She was
You better
19.
stop thinking about
She was
it.
19 in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you
My
doing when
God.
you were 19? Nothing. That's right.
She says that Gene Kelly rehearsed until her feet bled.
Yes, and she also said that Gene Kelly French kissed her and she vomited.
During
So
or after?
romantic.
Was that part of the film?
That's in the blooper reel at the end.
They did not. Donald O'Connor and my mother were not wild about Gene Kelly.
Oh, wow. I love this. More of this.
It's great.
Well, but apparently he's not a good kisser, and he didn't have a good sense of humor.
But
What
was
a
Donald
great
O'Connor
dancer.
nice? Was Donald O'Connor a nice chap?
Yes, he was
'Cause
great.
I love him.
What's Chewbacca like? Try and ignore Stephen.
Laugh it up, fuzzball. It's so mean. You must get it everywhere you go. You're going to get it everywhere.
No, I've gotten used to it. You know,
Oh,
take
the-
a couple of minutes for the Navi computer to calculate the coordinates.
Yes, exactly.
That wasn't even my line, and we all
You
started
still
saying those
started
things.
to say it, that's right, for the jump into hyperspace. And he goes...
With Harrison Ford, where he said he had a problem with the dialogue generally. He said, you can write this stuff, but you can't
You
say
can
it.
type it.
You can type
It's
it.
very specific. Yeah, no, you cannot say, I've placed a couple... I can't say mine. Placed... No, I can't remember it.
Come on.
What is that speech that I did?
We've got...
Years ago.
I tell you what we've done. We've got
Father-
300 nerds. Look back.
Oh, I know. I've placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory system of this R2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it.
That's it. But can you explain to me, please, why is it that C-3PO can speak 2 billion languages, but not English without a proper intonation? It's so wrong, all the way he talks. Anyway, we have to thank, of course, Paul for his fantastic, trusting nature in letting us look after his exceptionally valuable tree, the oldest artificial tree in the world, authenticated. Now, you'll notice that, like any tree, it has presents around it. Carrie, I have a present for you, and I want to know which imperial princess was responsible for it. So you can open it, literally on camera. It's from an imperial princess.
Well, see, I take my glasses. Oh, does...
Do you want? You can put your glasses on for this moment, if it really...
Thank you.
Oh, Paul.
There I am. All right.
Can you see the picture on it there? We've got a video
It's a-
slide.
M&M's?
What's it?
Original tin.
The original, the oldest M&M tin.
So do you want to show the ladies and gentlemen of the audience what you've got there?
With our best wishes for Christmas 1914, may God protect you and bring you home safe.
So what could that be? Christmas 1914, 100 years ago?
Are these care packages sent to the troops?
They are indeed. On the left, she's less well known than the guy on the right was George the... You want to know. It's not your business. You think of George the Tyrant. It's poor George
No,
III.
George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas. I'll stand by what I said, George the Tyrant. Darling. That's George V, as it happens, who looks exactly like his cousin Nicholas of Russia, who was killed by Lenin. Well, not personally. And his daughter, Mary, wanted to send the troops at the front a present. She wanted to pay for it herself out of her own allowance to send all the troops at the front a brass box with a Christmas card signed by her mother and her father, George R.I. Rex Imperator, King Emperor. And there was tobacco for those who smoke pipes and cigarettes for those who smoke cigarettes. And there were sweets and spices for those who were in the Indian Army, sweets and, rather unpleasantly, a silver pencil in the shape of a bullet for boys who were not old enough to smoke and for those who were non-combatants.
Do they have this, like, in a museum somewhere of the...
Well, its rarity is not enormous because originally she wanted everyone of the British Empire's armed services afloat or at the front to have this present at Christmas. And that was 355,000 boxes successfully delivered by the deadline. But then the eligibility was extended to include everybody who was wearing the King's uniform on Christmas Day 1914, which is a huge increase, which was 2,620,019 servicemen.
A lot of uniforms.
A lot of uniforms, but more than that, a lot of brass. So there was a brass shortage.
Buttons, not a buttons.
Well, yeah, the buttons, of course, but the actual box that Carrie's got is made of brass. So they had to make over 2 million of them, and there was a brass shortage. And,
There was a war on.
and there was a war on, so brass was needed for the casing of bullets and for other things. And so there was a huge extra order of brass made for America and Canada, and one of the largest consignments was the Lusitania, which was sunk. So that held up production of these boxes. Now, here's a rather more individual present. What did St. Bernard get from the Virgin Mary that wasn't just for Christmas?
A St. Bernard dog, I'm going to say.
It's actually rather weirder, and with all the deepest respect to the Romish Church, it's not untypical of some of their oddest moments of saint worship. Oh. She was a virgin, if we accept that she was a virgin, and gave birth.
It seems a bit unbelievable now, doesn't it?
I believe in miracles, you sexy thing. You may remember was a line from Hot Chocolate.
Fine.
You can't make hot chocolate without chocolate and
Milk.
Milk. And a kettle.
milk. Milk.
Milk.
She's a virgin, she's given birth.
Oh, she gave him milk.
She lactated right into
But
his
she
mouth.
was a virgin.
And there was a painter present.
Wow.
She's a hell of a name.
Look at that.
What a shot. And the milk is supposed to represent wisdom.
Wait a second. I just want to get this as a Christmas card.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
Thank you very much.
The photos.
Christmas sort. I mean, you know, next Christmas.
She's giving a gift to the priest.
Well, he's not a priest. He's got the halo, that strange little spinning disc above him,
oh.
which means that he's already been sanctified. He's a saint.
Why is he dressed as a Jedi Knight, then?
They were basically a prophecy of what was to come. The saints, there will come after us
A movie.
movies.
Yeah, with a lot of
A
stuff.
franchise.
Lots of merchandising.
Any old way. That's St. Bernard. He was pretty odd. But there were other opportunities that painters had to paint breasts. Because painters were pretty limited. They wanted to paint religious paintings. You couldn't get that sexy with Christianity. This was one example where
I
you
was gonna
could.
say, that's-
Well, that exactly. And then there was, of course, myth.
Whoa!
And this is a peculiar myth because it gets
Doesn't
weird.
look like the milk is really doing him any good.
Well,
I'm just saying.
no, you're right. Rubens, Vermeer, and Caravaggio, three of the greatest names in all art, all painted the legend of Roman charity, as it was called, Carita Romana, which is a fashionable theme for painters in the 17th and 18th century. And it tells the story of Cimon, or Simon, C-I-M-O-N, who was sentenced to death by starvation. And he's visited in prison and secretly breastfed by Pero, his daughter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a bit creepy.
It is a bit.
Although, could be worse, you could have got off with your brother.
I hope you're not feeling bullied, Carrie.
Not at all. This
You
is-
know how much into every single cell of our body your work is stitched.
This is actually a scene cut from Star Wars. Where Braithwaite's a Wookiee.
So, St. Bernard's Christmas tipple was the Virgin Mary's nipple. Now, let's have a look under the Tannenbaum for another present, and it's Bill's turn. Oh, my goodness, Bill, you'll be so excited. Here you go. Could you pass that to Bill? A lot of men
thanks.
like getting tools for Christmas, don't they, Bill?
Where are you going with this?
No,
Come on.
Your present is the most popular tool ever made.
Or Piers Morgan.
All right, let's see your tool.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
see your
then.
tool.
I'm really looking forward to this tool, and it's been beautifully wrapped as well with a snowflake design. And don't do that. No, you have to save that for a present for next year.
It's a
Whoa!
Do you know what
It's
that is?
only a flipping stone axe.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Or
It is a genuinely ancient
flint?
not even made by a human being, made before we were a species.
Wow. By some sort of early hominid.
Exactly. Homo
Erectus?
erectus
No,
is exactly right. Homo erectus.
So this is a stone cutting tool, some sort of axe?
Yes,
or
it's called an axe, but you're right, it's a cutting
hand
tool.
axe.
It's a
It's certainly
cutting
not for
tool.
stabbing, it's for cutting. And
That
it
is
has
beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous, isn't
It's
it?
amazing.
They're called aculean or aculean. Yeah, is it working?
It's really good for anything.
It's done work.
It's good for chopping garlic.
Oh, yeah, garlic, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, go on.
Cardboard for another 5,000 years.
Oh, do you know what? I love this. Thank you.
Oh, I'm really
I love
pleased.
it.
I thought you might. It is.
I will treasure it always.
That's a Mode 2, a more sophisticated one. The Mode 1 was called older one from the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, which is where all up the hominids have started. All those similar hand axes have been found in Clacton in Essex, which originate from about 20 years ago, exactly. We're talking about people who bleach their anuses and they're very sophisticated. Have you not watched Towie? No.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I have watched that, yes.
They do bleach all
They
parts.
bleach their anuses.
They
What
do.
is
And they
Anus bleaching is a popular thing amongst
yeah.
So you
amongst
don't have a
certain
rusty
people.
sheriff's badge.
David. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas, everybody! For a sunbeam, Jesus.
Around the fire.
When I said Homo erectus, we all know what Alan's an anagram of anyway. So,
Nala, yeah, Nala. An old Peruvian Inca word for anus.
all right, moving on. Everyone likes a little luxury at Christmas, but what little luxury did the Sybarites bring along to dinner parties?
Ferrero Rocher.
We are. You've heard the word Sybaritic, I'm sure, meaning luxury-loving, hedonistic,
Yeah.
lotus-eating, Sybaritic lifestyle.
Luxury loving.
Luxury loving, yeah.
Yes.
Very L word. So they're very known for that. You can see elephants, there's a camel, they're all the signs of luxury, gold, drinking.
All the signs of luxury. We live very different lives. Elephants, camels, you know.
If you came from southern Italy, which is where they came from, these were very exotic, very expensive, very amazing
Would it be
things.
spice? Would it be salt?
No, it was actually chamber pots.
No.
Yes, they gave the world chamber pots because they so loved dining, they wanted not to have to leave in order to poo and pee. So they invented something you could poo and pee into while eating.
And then presumably someone would...
Someone else would take it away and bring back a key.
So they invented the person that would take it away.
Yeah, they also invented that. They had slavery, I'm afraid. They were Greek peoples who lived in southern Italy, known for their luxury-loving lifestyle. Also, one of their greatest and most luxuriant leaders, Simdarides, was said to be so in love with luxury that he slept on rose petals and could tell and was not able to sleep if one of the rose petals was folded over.
What a big girl.
You're not going to take that, are you?
I'm not going to take that.
No, you see, yeah.
I'm going to bleach your ankle.
Help us, Obi-Wan.
So, despite their reputation for luxury, the Sybarites' most lasting invention was the chamber pot. I can't resist another peek under the tree. Jimmy, there's a present for you. Of course there is. Whoops, a daisy. I nearly broke the most valuable Christmas tree. Holy moly, Paul.
The thing is, though...
Go to a
Paul's got
break.
his hand to his mouth.
Go to a break.
You stole Christmas!
It's not my fault it was leaning on the present.
It's
Paul, you okay?
beginning to look a lot like disaster.
Paul, at least you can say Princess Leia has handled it. Could you pass that to Jimmy? Jimmy, open your present. It's very exciting.
Yeah, that's...
Now,
Well, you...
what I'm going to ask you to do is stand up, and if you can, on a box, or at least as high as you can.
Well, I
No,
mean,
you see
I didn't
that?
get you anything, and I think my gift's better.
No. No. You know the principle of siphoning liquid, where you put a tube into a petrol tank, and you slightly suck, and then it's got to be higher than the bucket that you siphon into.
Sure.
You can siphon a chain. So stand as high as you can, and you see there's an end
As
coming
high as I
out of
can.
the beaker, out of the cup.
Shall I go
That'd be
on the
perfect.
desk?
If you feel comfortable there on the
course,
desk,
yeah,
it's
why not?
great.
Why not?
And if you could just jerk out the leading... Stop it! Stop on!
This is just what you need me to do. What would you need me to do? Just jerk it out.
Yeah, jerk it out.
Just jerk it out.
Jerk it out.
And with any luck, you'll see a rather astonishing effect. It seems to defy gravity, in the words
So,
of Wicked.
Jerk that out.
Yeah, out, up and down. And as high as you can.
Oh!
Wow!
Dude! It's going up. It's going up. Oh,
Oh, it's magic!
That's pretty impressive.
And that's actual magic.
that is, isn't it?
Wow.
Magic of science.
There is-
That's incredible.
What's lovely about that, and we love this particular QI, is that it's a phenomenon that's only recently been discovered in 2013. Because the beads are close together, they act as if they were a sequence of little rods rising out of the pod. It tries to rotate around its centre of gravity, but it can't because the bottom of the pod is in the way, and so it has nowhere to go but upwards. At least that's the scientific explanation. And it's a wonderful... That's in real time, that's not speeded up. It's quite astonishing.
I thought mine was special. There's another one. I thought mine was enchanted.
The beautiful thing is, everyone now can give it to their children. That's the thing, you see. Now to that evergreen highlight of Christmas telly, it's not A Wonderful Life, it's general ignorance, and there's no great escape. Fingers on buzzers, please. And so, when should you take down your Christmas decorations?
January the 6th.
January the 6th.
I think it's...
What
I think it's after the first fight on Christmas morning. You go, it's all ruined, it's over.
Yeah.
12th day.
Well, the 12th day of Christmas.
The 12th day of Christmas.
What is the 12th day of Christmas?
January the
gave
6th.
to me. January the 6th. Somebody thinks January the 5th. No, well, you see, the tradition is that it's Candlemas Eve. And Candlemas... It's the 1st of February. Candlemas Day is the 2nd of February. The whole idea is Christmas is a gigantic feast.
February?
Yeah, Christmas, huge winter feast. And you kept the holly and the ivy and all your things up all the way through. Nowadays we've got central heating and things like that. We don't really think about that. How amazing it was to have pickles and jams and preserves and dried fruits and all the things that kept you through winter. And it was a great celebration. So Christmas was actually all the way from Martinmas, which was 11th of November, to Candlemas Eve. But what I explained to the ladies and gentlemen, because, you know, we know that there is a separation of church and state in America. And what that means, of course, is that Christmas Day is not a particularly special day, in as much as that's a big day for people to go to the cinema, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's a special day anymore, and
That's
also
what I mean.
stores are still open.
That's what I mean. That's the point, is because in American law, you can't have a religious festival being a commercial holiday. So all your holidays are secular.
It's a really interesting thing, though, that it is quite a secular culture in America.
Although Americans, over 60%, believe that angels walk amongst us.
That's in America.
That's in America. But why do they walk?
Hold on. Are they company, these angels? Good going. Right, it's the right result, isn't it?
Hello, Raphael.
Hello, mate.
Yeah.
You right?
You're an archangel, you are.
Yeah. I'm infused with the Holy Spirit. I'll tell you what.
Coming down and walking among them.
Yeah, I'm walking about them.
Have you seen the
Who's
angel?
up that test, though? Who even thinks up that question?
I know, whereas Copenhagen, for example, was asked to a group of Americans, and most of them thought it was in Canada.
It isn't.
No.
It's really shock.
Also, do you know where the rebel base is? Will you tell us where the rebel base is?
In your pants. That's why we have to
That would
keep
be a
it
great
neat.
pair of underpants. Just a rebel base across the waistband.
Patent it. That is
Patent that, write that down.
Write that down. These are the pants you want.
Yeah, copyright Alan Davis. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so you can leave your Christmas decorations up until the 1st of February, if you like, yeah?
Yeah.
So, having reinstated the full 38 days of Christmas, we now have plenty of time to mull over the scores, and my goodness me, how fabulous they are. In first place, with astonishing scoring, 5 points. That's a +5. What's Jimmy Carr? Oh, yeah. 5 points. But imagine, on your debut, to have a plus score. +3, Carrie Fisher! Bill in third place with a respectable -6.
-6.
There are only 40 days in Advent, but Alan manages -46. Only remains for me to thank Carrie, Jimmy, Bill, and... Oh, wait a second. There's one little boy here who still hadn't had a present. But here's Santa! Santa, what have you got for Alan? Have a feel in Santa's sack, Alan. What can you... Have a feel. What's in there?
Ping pong balls.
Ping pong balls. Now, I know a very exciting thing you can do with ping pong balls, but it's quite loud and quite dangerous. So, can you all put your ear defenders on?
Right.
So,
Look
Jimmy,
at Carrie's ear defenders.
Carrie's ear defenders are very special.
Oh, you don't know that you got me through some very difficult years. I only said that when you had the ear defenders on.
You go in the safe place, Jimmy, Carrie, and Bill. And ear defenders on in the audience, if you would.
Good luck.
Oh, well done.
Bye.
Alan, you and I are going to the extremely dangerous place. I mean, kind of suicidal. To put the goggles on before the... Yeah, right. And you've got gloves, which you don't need to have. Right, OK, so here we have the ping-pong balls. We're going to pour in liquid nitrogen, which is 196 degrees, minus, that is. Really, really cold. We're pouring it into this bottle. And it's fine in the bottle, but if you put it in really hot water, obviously, this is gas, which is in liquid form, and when it heats, it'll go back to gas, but there's so much of it, it'll expand and expand and expand, and the bottle will explode really rather violently. So if you put it in, there's hot water in there, we're going to add these ping-pong balls, and the moment the bottle goes in, Alan, pop in all of them, that's it, and I'll pop in all of mine, and then we've got about 5 seconds, well, let's go! Oh, gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, that's great.
Genuinely like all our Christmases came at once.
Ding dong, merrily on high, and a very happy Christmas to you all!